my home organising series. I'm going to show you our living room today. This also doubles as a playroom because Tommy doesn't have a playroom separate to this room and his bedroom is tiny. So all his toys are down here. So I'll show you how I keep those organised. It's not as organised as I'd like it to be. I do have some organising to do in order to make it a bit better. But with big toys, now he's a bit older, it's really difficult. So some toys do have to stay out. So I'll show you how I organise, how I keep things tidy. I like to have things looking quite neat and tidy and cleared away and not on show really. I have a few things on show but I don't want everything on show, so I'll show you how I do that. And again I will show you how I have implemented some different techniques for small spaces. Now this isn't a small living room but it is housing our dining room at the back behind me as well, so it's one long room and it has a dining room at the back and the living room area at the front here, so it does have to kind of accommodate a lot of things. So I'll show you how I am able to do that without it looking too
So
busy.
this is an overview of the whole room. I will show you each of the items individually, but I just thought I'd show you the whole room. Since I did my home tour, I have changed the layout. This cream sofa used to be in front of the window, but we have moved it now. So there's some toys down there. So I will start in the dining room end of the room. So in this corner there is a computer desk. I'm not going to show you that today because I know it needs organising inside. I used to have it far more organised than it is at the moment. If you can see on top there is a cream box. I used to have more of those up there and then more inside as well, but I don't think we've got as many in there at the moment. And I'm going to be getting a new computer, or should I say new to me, and that's probably going to go in there. So I will do the organising of that when that happens. But it keeps it neat and tidy when we didn't have space to have an office elsewhere in the house. This end of the room, as you can see, it is our dining room end. Just have Tommy's high chair tucked in the corner there, and we have 3 chairs around this table. We have another chair upstairs which could come down and it could fit in between those 2 cupboards. But Tommy has started to climb on everything and I'm just a bit worried about him falling. So on the table I just have this tray here. This is quite new to be put on the table. I've had it for a long time, but I just decided to put it on the table just to house a few of the items. So I have my napkins on there, the salt and pepper and my table mats. And I just treated myself to some flowers yesterday. And then again on the dining room end of the room, I have these 2 Billy units. These are from IKEA, and this is where you have the cupboard door that isn't see-through at the bottom and obviously see-through glass at the top, so we can have things on display. So if I just come a bit closer, in this middle section here I just have a few items that I wanted to have on display. So a couple of cameras that are old and don't work but just want them on display, and a couple of other things. I might get rid of this tall vase. The potpourri that's in it is really old and it's starting to look really old now, so I think I might get rid of that, and it's just there because I had the potpourri. It doesn't need to be there. And I might find another home for the little lantern, and then the oil burner can go in the middle, so it's a little bit less cluttered. But in the top here where it is all enclosed within the glass doors, we have our dinner set. This was a wedding gift, not from one person, from many people. We had it set up so that people could buy individual items, and I wasn't too sure how to display everything because obviously you've got a pile of plates, you've got a pile of side plates, a pile of bowls, and I just couldn't picture how it should be displayed in the cabinet. And my husband came up with this idea to put place settings. So on each place setting there is a large plate, dinner plate, I think a side plate, a tea plate, a pasta bowl, a dessert or cereal bowl and a mug. And we've just divided each item with a napkin so they don't get damaged. And I think it works really well. And then at the top there we have one in the middle, so it's stood up. So yeah, we have all our dinner set displayed there, so they're on show, but we can easily get to them when we need to. We don't use it that often, but if we have people over for dinner or at Christmas, we do get that out. Then we have a couple of other items in there that we have received at different times. And our glasses, if you can see them, it's really hard against the white. I think it probably would do well to have the background in the cupboard a different colour so you can see everything. And then at the top there, a teapot, and a platter and 2 vegetable bowls. Then on the other side we have in a display there is a cake stand. That wouldn't necessarily be the place I would choose to put it, but I have nowhere else to put it. It's really big and I'm really worried at some point Tommy is going to have that over as he gets a bit bigger. And I think I need to tidy this side up a little bit. I have a couple of little dishes that each side, which I'm not using really, well I am using, but I don't think I really need to. And a little picture frame which is really nice, but we actually don't use it. So I'm going to ask Keith if he wants to put a picture in it, otherwise I might give it away or sell it. You will see. Feels really bad, it was a gift, but we've never used it. And I don't know if I ever will because it's such a small frame. And I do feel bad when someone's given us a nice little gift like that. And again, a dinner set on this side as well. And at the top, some more dishes. Trifle bowl in the middle, if you can see that. And a tagine dish. That's a bit out of place because everything else is either clear or white. But it's nice to have it on display. So that's how that is all set up. And it's easy to get to and it looks nice. Now if I can show you down here, please excuse the mess in here. This definitely isn't organised in here. It has been better in the past. So we used to have another bookshelf in this room and we had all the books on there. That bookshelf is now upstairs and these books have all just stayed here and haven't made their way upstairs. So I think I'm going to put them all upstairs. This next shelf here, this is my kind of continuous amount of paperwork that needs to be filed. I did start it and I have all good intentions of keeping on top of it and I never do, but I need to do that so I know where everything is, but that all needs to be filed. This is just really so that things are stored away without being on show. So as you can see, you can have a bit of disorganisation without the living room looking bad. And at the bottom we have some extra ice and sugar because our kitchen is really small, so I often store baking items in here because I like to keep enough in so I've got a spare. And then the blue lid tub that's got salt in it and just a few other items. Probably needs tidying up as well, but so yeah, I probably will move those books, but other than that I think everything just has to stay as it is at the moment. And we just have these little catches. Sorry, that won't focus, but we have these little catches so that Tommy can't get in here. And so he pulls on the door, but he can't go any further than that, which is good. And I'll try and show you this other side. I'll just set you down a second. So on this side, at the bottom there, I have some cardboard cake stands, so they just stay in there. Some tissues. So I like to get them when they're on offer and they just stay in there until I need them. The trifle bowl box. Now the reason I keep that is because if I make a trifle and I'm taking it somewhere, I put the bowl inside the box for travelling and get it out at the other end and it stops it from tipping over, or should do anyway. And then a cupcake stand. The stand is actually in the kitchen, so I might get rid of the box. Don't think I need it anymore. This second row, all these here are ice cream tubs. This is from Keith and my wedding. We had an ice cream bar and I ordered tubs from eBay, the little cups, ice cream cups. So really cute little things. And loads of these little ice cream spoons. But as you can see, we have loads left over. We've got more ice cream spoons there as well. And I think some straws behind there as well, and that again is from our wedding. Then on the top row I have, that's a spare dinner set. This was given to me. I think it's really pretty, so I don't want to get rid of it. We never ever use it, don't need it, because we have plenty in the kitchen, and of course we have our dinner set that we got for our wedding. But I think it's really pretty, so I'm going to keep it for now. I might do something with it at some point, make my own little cake stand with some of them, we'll see. But it just sits in there. We've got plenty of space to do that. Some glasses, I don't know why I've kept them. I think it's because I wanted to put jelly in them sometimes, but I'm sure there was a fourth one and now that's gone missing, so it seems a bit odd only having 3. Spare napkins when we run out of napkins, and some paper plates. And that string and what's it called, chain is from a sign that went underneath our mantelpiece of our fire, but it started to pull. Tommy kept pulling on it, so it's in there, and the sign is no longer up at the moment, so that needs sorting. So yeah, on here I might get rid of this. I keep the bowl, but I might get rid of the potpourri that's in it. I think I might also get rid of this, but not the bowl. I'll keep the bowl and then find somewhere else to put these little stones, because I don't really need them. Tommy, when he started to climb, was starting to pull on these little bowls, and he's just going to hurt himself one of these days. Well, he already does hurt himself, but the less times he can hurt himself, the better. So I might just do something with those. And then in here, as I said, we've got the dinner set in this side as well, but we also have some little ramekins, so if we ever have a roast dinner, we can put some little sauces in those, and some little ice cream bowls, and then like smoothie ice cream glasses at the back there. I just like to keep those. So on the living room side of the room, we have this Kallax unit from IKEA. So it's what I call the box unit. Obviously it's got lots of boxes in it, and you can get all sorts of styles of boxes from IKEA. We've just got the white ones and the wicker ones. I really like this. Obviously it's housing our TV, so this unit is acting not only as a TV stand but as a storage unit. So I'm like doubling my space by not just having a TV stand there. By putting a storage unit there and using it as a TV stand, I'm maximising my space. In these we store some of Tommy's toys. He has these two boxes here, so it's a bit of a mess in there, but the beauty is that you couldn't tell it's a mess inside those boxes by the outside, because once it's pushed away it's all neat and tidy. And then he has this one down here as well. So some of his toys are in there, and he knows that these two are his, so he always pulls those out. Now he does try and pull the other ones out, and I will show you in a moment, but this gets pushed in front of this unit so we can't pull them out. So the other ones, I'm not going to pull them all out because they are so disorganised, and I really need to get on top of this. I can see there's DVDs in that one, there's DVDs in that one, I think there was in that one as well. So in this one here we have Tommy's changing bag, so it's not laying around in the living room or in the hallway. That just gets pushed into there. It's got quite a big bag, so I can fit quite a lot in there. This one here, bit of a mess, but spare candles, spare picture frames, and Tommy's nappy sacks, for obviously for a dirty nappy. And the reason why they're in here and not in this one where his nappies are is because we used to have this box somewhere else and we used to block it off so that Tommy couldn't get hold of these and obviously hurt himself and do any damage to himself. So they are there, but now this whole section gets blocked off, so maybe these can go up into this one, which has his nappies in. So this top one has all his nappies. It's got baby wipes, obviously now his nappy sacks, and some nappy cream. I like to keep plenty of wipes. I've just got the 1/2 pack there. I keep more wipes upstairs, so it's not an issue, I'm not going to run out. Got plenty upstairs, and there's more nappy cream upstairs as well. So that's what's in there. And then in this one here, there is DVDs in here, but I also have some of Tommy's books that we read to him at night time. These are books that I don't want him to get hold of on his own. He has a few books in that box there that he has ruined, but I don't mind him playing with those. These ones I want to keep nice, so we've just got a few different books in there that he's allowed to read at night, but only when we are sat with him, because they get damaged. I mean, even this one has got damaged, and he's hardly had this one, so quick to get damaged. So yeah, that works really well. I really like how it looks. It looks really neat and tidy. Because this isn't a playroom and it is our living room, this is the main part of the living room where we sit in the evening. I don't really want to look at things that look like it's a playroom. So this works well. It looks neat and tidy, and I had this unit well before I was even with Keith, and never mind having a baby. So it's worked for me as a single person, worked for me in my house with my husband, and now it's working really well with a baby. And obviously as he gets older, these boxes can work in other ways as well. And I think what I might do is clear out some of the DVDs, find somewhere else to put those, and then I'll show you in a moment where his toys are, his other toys, and then I can put some of those toys in some of these boxes so that he can have more toys to play with in this area, and they are stored away so I don't have to look at them. But really good to maximise your space and to double your furniture. This here is our coffee table. This is actually a blanket box. This is from IKEA. I'm not sure on the name of the range. It's a waffle box, as I call it, and just because it looks like a waffle. The only issue with this now is Tommy is now using it as a climbing frame. So it has worked really well, but now he's using it as a climbing frame. And what I have done, I don't know if you can see very well, I've backed it so because it was just completely see-through. It just means that no crumbs can get through and you can't see what is inside. So let's see if I can show you from the side. So you can see the material there. I have done that all the way around, and that was just an old pair of curtains I got from a charity shop. I just cut it to size and then stapled it inside. I think what I should have done though is put Velcro so I could remove the material and wash it, and particularly for the top where it gets crumbs I could have taken it off so I could make sure the crumbs were all gone. And we just store some games in there, but that can be changed at some point. I can take those games and put those somewhere else and put Tommy's toys in there, and again that would work really well, and it works nice as a coffee table in the room but doubles as a storage box again. And I've also had wheels put on this, little casters, you can see, so that I can wheel it around the room. And I did this so that I could move it around the room to give space for Tommy when he was very little and starting to roll and things like that. But it works well now because it comes out of his way while he's playing, and it means I can move it in front of this unit here. And I'll just show you what that looks like during the day. Because obviously, well, he's asleep now, so I've put it in the middle of the room so I can show you what the room looks like when he isn't around. But when he is around during the day, it isn't here, it's at the side. So I'll just show you that now. That's how it looks during the day when Tommy is up and he is playing. It means that he can't get into any of these boxes and pull out DVDs and other things that I don't want him to get hold of. Nappy sacks, which could be dangerous. And it means I can have a drink on the side here without him pulling it over until he can climb on this. He can't climb on it yet, although this morning I was out of the room for 2 seconds and somehow he got this picture over and the lamp down and all the controllers. Don't ask me how he got those because that is completely out of his reach, but he managed it. So whether he did climb this morning, I don't know. But it means now, look at all this floor space I have because that coffee table is out of the way. And when he was little and he wasn't climbing, I was able to move that box into this space so that he couldn't get out of that end of the room and knew where he was. So unfortunately, as a parent, you have to leave the room for a moment. You can't stay with him all the time, and it just meant I was a bit more confident that he was safe. Now that he can climb, I don't do that because there's just no point. It just encourages him to climb on sofas. But it works well, and I really like that it's on wheels now. And then this tall unit, as I said, at the bottom is his toys, and then these decorative ball things. I'm going to get rid of this, and the reason being is it used to sit very nicely like that, a bit neater than it is now. Tommy can reach that, so I have had it pushed at the back, which looks stupid. So it looks silly there. They are getting a bit old now as well, but Tommy still was able to reach that, and he pulled it all out. It was all over the floor. All of these that were bundled together, all just completely all over the place, and I think he started to break some of these. There is no point keeping it, so that is going to go. I've had it a long time now, it's got old now, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do in this space. I might get another box. We'll see. I'm not too sure. And then at the top there, I'm just storing some little trinkets, and they're out of the way. They're not all over the living room. I didn't want to have it all over the living room, but I like to have a few things, some things of memory. So that's it. That is how I organise my living room, how I keep it neat and tidy. This helps immensely. Oh, I'm going to show you my toys. Not my toys, Tommy's toys. So in this little corner here, so as I said, this sofa here used to be in front of the window, and we moved it so that the radiator wasn't being covered and we got enough heat into the room. So because of the way we've done it, we've now got this little corner here, and we had this basket already, and that just has his floor mat for when he has his lunch and his dinner, so we don't get crumbs on the floor because it's all carpeted and I don't want to get the vacuum cleaner out each time. So these toys are all just like laying around. Obviously these big ones, you can't do anything about this, they just have to be there. But some of these smaller ones could go into one of those boxes over there. So once I have organised some of those, I could probably move those, but that is how that is looking. They are on show, but when you're sat on the sofa over there, you can't see them. So in the evening, I like the living room to look as normal as possible, or as normal as it was without a baby. So we doesn't keep them here all the time, but it just means that when I come to tidy up, they all get put into this corner and they are out the way and I don't have to look at them all the time. Because believe it or not, even though I am a parent, I like to just be me sometimes as well. And I know all parents will understand that. We like to have some baby free time or child free time. So yes, that is our living room. I'm going to go and do some of that organising, moving those bits that I don't want, and I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. So that's what this is looking like now. I just got rid of the potpourri and the lantern. I think the lantern's going to go somewhere else, but the potpourri is going in the bin, and the vase will go under the sink in the kitchen. Just looking a bit neater, less cluttered. And the same over here. Got rid of those two bowls, white bowls, and the little picture frame, so it's a little bit neater there as well. So I'm just sat here editing my video for my living room organisation, and I have either lost some of my footage or I didn't finish the video. I'm not too sure what, but I have lost some footage from the bedroom organisation that I recorded as well. So I'm going to have to re-record that, which is such a pain, but never mind. So I'm just here, it's a Sunday afternoon, I'm doing some editing as you can see behind me. No makeup on, my hair is just slacked back, but I thought I'd quickly end the video and also just show you the couple of things that we did, because I didn't end it, I didn't show you everything that we did. But my living room is a mess, so I will warn you, Tommy has demolished it. This is what he does every now and then. Sometimes he's really good and he only gets a few toys out, other days everything comes out, the sofas get trashed, and today is one of those days. He's asleep at the moment and I haven't tidied up because what's the point? I'll tidy after he's gone to bed tonight. So ignore the mess. I will show you a couple of things that I changed and end the video as well for you. So this is the state of the living room. Actually, it's not too bad. He had all these cushions off shot a while ago. So this has now changed. I've just put this picture here. This was upstairs for a little while, but I've put it there because I like the picture and I thought it'd be nice to have it on show there. And then this side, I've now put the oil burner just there because it was on the other shelf. I was going to show you in this cupboard here because I have moved books upstairs, but I've just realised it's even worse than it was before because I've put some other bits in there, and so I want to show you that because it's not tidier than it was before. But I'll just show you this shelf over here. I had the decorative balls on this little shelf here in the little wooden bowl. That obviously is gone now, and I've just put this frame. This was upstairs for a little while and I brought it downstairs and I didn't have any space for it, so it's gone on there, and Tommy can't reach that, so that's really good. Nothing else has changed. The bits that I had on here, I think it was a picture that I've moved over on the other shelf, that was there, but Tommy climbs on the coffee table and gets everything, so I've moved that. The router has been moved around because he was pulling on things, and so unfortunately all the cables are on show, but you have to do what you have to do. And then as for these boxes, I haven't done a lot, but I've managed to empty one, managed to empty this one here. And if you've seen my Cheeky Wipes video, my review of the Cheeky Wipes, they are non-disposable baby wipes. They are now in that basket there. so that was really good to be able to clear at least one of those boxes, but nothing else has really changed there. So that's all I've organised in the living room for now. I have organised the desk. I will link the video to that below. It's still not finished. I have done it as best as I can, but until the office upstairs is completed, I'm not really able to finish that. It's really difficult with a little baby, because when I've got time, you've really got to debate what you want to do in that time, and I get really limited time. You know, you get about an hour or two during the day and a little bit of time in the evening, depending what time he goes to bed. Sometimes it's an hour before I want to go to bed, sometimes it's longer, and there's so many other things to do. So the office is still a mess upstairs, but that's fine. It's a work in progress. But I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you're enjoying these organisation videos. I will link my playlist below of my organisation videos, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I've got a bedroom organisation video planned, and I might do an office one if I ever get round to organising it. If you're interested in seeing anything else like this or have other requests for videos, please leave a comment below, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!